Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video where a cops was interviewing Black people. It was more like like face-to-face conversation. And firstly, the cop asked a Black woman if she is a right to desist, right? And I was like, I mean, what gave him the audacity to ask the woman if she is that? Like how? You know? And while the conversation was going on, and he actually made some silly comments, and the woman was trying to tell him how being Black is really the biggest or the hardest thing to do because they are always scared of their lives, and Black kids also grow up so fast because they really have to be men enough, or because one minute they are being profiled, the other minute they are being scared of them, or they were fearful or something like that. And also, the other one also mentioned how Black people, like when they do something to Black people, they don't get any penalty and all that. And before you know what is going on, it's either they are on leave or they move somewhere else and start their job somewhere else. And also Hispanics were also able to speak their own mind, telling them that most cops, and then he mentioned that most cops are kind of selfless and honorable. You know what? Let's get into this.
Are you racist?
No, but y'all is.
No, you said you hate cops.
I do.
Are you racist?
I hate them. All of them.
All right, so
Y'all killed my cousin for no reason.
So the reason I ask if you're racist, because the definition of racism is treating a group of people differently by the way they look or what they do. Actually, it's bigotry.
Ooh,
Okay. You said you hate cops
Mhm.
because you had a bad interaction with a cop or a small group of cops. So for you to hate a group of people by the interactions based on one person, it's irresponsible.
It is?
Yes.
You should take your own advice.
How so?
Y'all, you was just talking about respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't respect us at all. At all. Just like he was saying.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Nah, it's not.
Absolutely.
It's not. Y'all judge us by just looking at us. We don't have to do nothing. We don't have to do nothing at all.
And you're 100% sure of that?
I'm 100% sure.
When you're 100% sure of something, that's when you're proved wrong.
I'm not proved wrong, baby.
Yes, you are.
We go through it every day, all day.
So throughout my career, you're telling me that every Black person or brown person that I came in contact with, I treated them unfairly?
I don't know who you came in contact with, but most of y'all do.
But you just said all. Now you're going back to most.
I don't like none of y'all, to keep it honest. I ain't met not one good cop yet.
So what would you do if a white person came up and said, I don't like any Black people?
That's his opinion.
Just like yours.
Yeah.
Just like yours. Would you say that's an irresponsible statement? Because I would.
No. Everybody got their own opinion.
Until your opinions are changed.
I wouldn't change nothing. I guess none of y'all. I don't like cops. Y'all treat us Black and brown people very disrespectful, very different. Most of us getting killed every day.
Most of you?
Yeah, y'all just killed that lady for no reason.
What lady?
What was her name? Sonia. Yeah.
You're making some very dangerous generalities.
No, I ain't.
Yes, you are.
Y'all killed my cousin.
You said
having
most.
Sex in the park.
So
he had sex with a girl in the park.
You said most.
And they assumed he had a gun by having sex in the park. How you assume somebody having a gun by having sex in the park?
I don't know. Maybe he was well endowed. So you said most. 17% of the population, as I said before, is Black. Okay? So that means out of 320 million, approximately 320 million people in the world, if you do the math, you're looking at about what? I don't know, we'll say a nice round number, 50 to 60 million Black people in the country. Okay? That's what the statistics say. Statistics aren't going to lie on that one. So most of them, that would mean over 30%, that's 25 to 30 million people are getting shot by Black people, or shot by cops. So your claim doesn't hold water.
Good job, flagging.
Cops only use lethal force as a last resort.
There's plenty of cases, I'm sure you've seen them, where cops use lethal force and they shouldn't have. I get it. Sometimes they may be scared for their lives, even though the situation doesn't deem it for them to be scared for their lives. Sometimes they are. But I feel like that's all in training. Now that's where training should be more, because there's lots of cops that are just so jittery and so trigger happy when they shouldn't be, when people are just doing regular things.
You're 100% correct, my friend. You're 100% correct. I've been saying this for years, that every cop should be at least a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. That's going to do two things. It's going to allow you to be able to handle yourself, but it's also going to be the confidence that's instilled within you in order to be able to handle yourself. The vast majority only use lethal force as a last resort. But there are occasions where, let's face it, there are certain people that should never be cops. I'll be the first one to tell you that. They got shoved in lockers in schools. They have a complex about them. Trust me, the cops who should be cops know exactly who those people are. They have a God complex, and they should have never got that job. So I'll be the first one to tell you that.
And the thing is, once something happens where that cop that should have never had that job shows they should never have that job, a lot of times they never get fired. And if they do get fired, they can somehow just go to a different department and still work. And I'm not sure if that's true, but from what I've heard accounts, people can, let's say, get fired from one county, go to the next. Even though he has history of going to black and brown people and discriminating them, he still can have work. Or he can be paid leave. Paid leave is crazy to me, because you can shoot somebody and then get paid just to sit at home. That's crazy to me. But what do you think on that? What do you think that's something that should happen?
So that particular cop you're talking about, that video, he's in 6 different departments. That should have been red flag number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't just keep hopping departments. There's obviously a problem there. Paid leave, something different. You sign a contract on this particular job, and that contract states that you are working until you either retire or you're terminated. So paid leave is you're basically out on an injury. I was out on an injury because there are wounds beyond gunshot wounds that will screw you up way worse than being shot. And trust me on that one.
Definitely.
Most cops are selfless and honorable people.
No, I don't think these cops are honorable at all. I think they're just a bunch of cowboys, and we're just the cattle, and they're just out here to herd us into jail, and that's it. We need people to help us, not act like thugs. They're the thugs. To us, they're the scary monsters.
So why wouldn't somebody like yourself who has those views take on that responsibility to change that system?
I did. When I was a kid, I would always say I want to be a cop or a movie star. Cops made me who I am by the way I look. I felt like I was a criminal because of the way they acted towards me, until one day I realized, I'm not the bad guy.
Something you don't know about me. I grew up in a neighborhood full of criminals. When I was younger, I stole everything I could get my hands on. And then one day, the light clicked on because of a police officer. He came up to me and he said, "What are you doing? What are you doing with your life?" And I watched that police officer take a young kid with that one statement, that one simple statement, and change me around to want to go the other direction and beat.
It goes back to what I was saying. We need more cops like that'll steer us the right way.
And that's why I challenge you, and I challenge everybody in this room. I challenge you to teach your children. It might be too late for all of us.
I'm doing that just by being here.
Challenge your children to take on that debt, to take on that weight. If you see the system as being broken and you stand by and you're silent, you're complicit. We teach the next generation, no, you need to go into this because you need to change it.
Either teach the next generation or teach the cops.
Well, the cops right now, some of them, that's going to be a difficult task.
I think the solution will be to just teach the cops better training and teach these kids how to be.
What kind of training would you give them?
Mental training. They need a lot of that. You said they need more training in jiu-jitsu, which I do believe. Yeah, you're 100% right, but also the mental training.
I'm in agreement with you there, because the mental stresses of this job are why they're getting super aggressive on the street. A lot of it, not all of it, are why they're getting super aggressive. So we are all victims to becoming what we see. Police see.
No, we're the victims. You guys are.
Well, no, everybody.
Are the predators.
I'm talking about everybody is a victim of what they see. If you saw death and horror, nobody's calling the cops because their kid graduated high school.
But you try and twist this around, but yeah, the cops do victimize a lot of us, and they make us think that we're just evil people all the time, man. So They're not honorable.
But you're
in any
victimizing
way.
the cops in much the same way.
But
You're
I don't
doing the
think
same
a
thing.
job like that is any honorable, like shooting people in the back and having your colleagues like get away
Cops
with
don't
it,
shoot
or,
people in
or
the
maybe
back.
not
They
implying like.
they go to jail if they shoot people in the jail.
But there's no honor in being a cop. There isn't.
There is a lot of honor in being a
You
cop.
can't give any man any power like that, and them
When
not
you give-
abuse it.
When you're willing to give your life for somebody who you don't know, who hates you, when you're willing to do that, that's honor.
I think they do it for fun, honestly.
No, nobody's willing to give their life for fun. Most police officers do not racially profile black and brown people.
I think you guys do racially profile us. Yeah, I give you guys that. Okay, the majority gang members are Hispanics and blacks. Okay. You got to act like gang members yourself. You talk to us with slangs too.
What slang do we use?
You guys speak in
asking-
codes too.
Of course we do.
Yeah. Did they teach you guys that? Just attack blacks and Hispanics?
No.
It seems like it sometimes. Most of the time.
You're
Or
allowed
all the time.
You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, there is no police academy in the world that treats go after this race as opposed to this race.
Did they teach you guys too what's the difference between an ex-gang member and an active gang member?
No.
There are people that are gang members, but change their lives too. And we're still getting pulled over.
Those are the people I love. However, if you get pulled over and you're doing nothing wrong, you need to thank the police. I'm going to tell you why. Because they're looking out for you. They're looking out for your community. I'll change my verbiage on that one. They're looking out for your community in order to get those who haven't found their way, such as those reformed gang members, to try to maybe change their way, to make an impact on them. So they should be thanked.
It happens to me. I had to ask them, why are you pulling me over? They don't even have an answer.
Well,
Most of the time they don't. Like, they don't have nothing to say. Obviously, I know because of my looks. I know.
So laws might be different in California, but in New Jersey, you always get told why you're pulled over.
I'm a clean person. What you guys see is this and my skin color. That's all. Most of my tattoos, you guys see that. That's when you guys pull up. Yeah, but who's looking at your color?
So if I go to a neighborhood that's heavily brown or black, are people going to look at me?
The police won't almost rarely never pull you over here.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes,
That's absolutely not true because I've been pulled over.
Yeah, okay.
I was
but in a nice way, we get yelled at.
Oh,
we get
no.
pull over. Get
No.
your hands in the air.
You're making a dangerous assumption there, my friend. That is not true. I was driving through Alpine, New Jersey, which is one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in New Jersey. I was in an Infiniti, which was my buddy's car. And I got pulled over. And I got ripped out of the car. I didn't have a problem with it. If you're not doing anything wrong and you get stopped, then nothing's going to happen to you.
They do embarrass us.
You get embarrassed every day. That's stuff you got to get over. I got embarrassed. I got pulled out of the car.
Okay, pause. So you've been voted out.
So this is all I got from this, and I am going to take it one after the other. Now, some people can really gaslight themselves, not even, you know what I am saying. So the young lady that sat down and he started by asking, are you racist? It is the audacity for me. Are you racist? Like, now let me tell you this. We all already know the history of people that look like me with the cops. So far, some are going to tell you that there are some good cops, right? And there are some bad cops. But Black people rarely make the good cops. One of the reasons why Black people or Black kids grow up so fast. Why? Because they always fit the narrative. They always fit the description. They are so grown that according to them, that they are scared. You know, I was scared for my life for a 9-year-old child, you know? And where got me is where the young lady said that my own cousin was by the cops where he was having with someone, right? And he said maybe he is in down. Did you hear that part? I heard it. Now they are going to keep making excuses for the things they do wrong, for the things they do to Black people, for the things they put Black people through. Now, like the lady said, can you look at Sonia's case? I don't know if that case is still, but it has come and gone, closed, right? Other ones are still going to happen, closed. And like the man said, that they end up, most of them will do all that and don't get sacked. And they will end up working somewhere, even if something happens, they end up working somewhere else, or they put them up on leave, paid leave. That is to tell you how corrupt the system is. And then he has the audacity to ask, are you ready to desist? Like he is talking to a child that doesn't know what is going on. Now, sometimes I don't want to say that I feel like I already know it, that people that look like it is like nothing about us is valuable, especially when it comes to our lives. That's why for every time, every point in time, we are very cautious. We are always screaming that our own life is very important than any other thing, because we absolutely have to remind them, make them understand that we are valuable, that we also have the right to live too, that it is also our right to live. Man, there are some things you see on the internet and you are in shock. This is also part of it. Are you a racist? Interesting. See you all in my bye for now.